Hello everyone, what's up? I've gotten questions about the best sniper rifle in Battlefield 2042, so I thought maybe it's time to make one of those videos. Yeah, so there's still only 3 different sniper rifles that you can unlock, and yes, I'm aware of the marksmanship rifles and some of the utility weapons, and yes, you can kind of go sniping with them. But in the end of the day, they're a bit more of an old school assault rifle rather than a real sniper rifle. But let's not get too much into detail about that, we are here for the best sniper rifle. Since I consider all 3 sniper rifles to be viable, but with different playstyles, I'm going to go through all of them. Starting with the worst or least best, then moving on to the runner-up and finishing with the best. I'm going to go through their strengths, weaknesses and how to set them up. As usual, you can use the channels below if you only want to see the best rifle directly, but as it's heavily dependent on your playstyle, you might want to hang around for the entire clip. Before we get started, give a thumbs up if you like the clip, it really helps, and if you don't, well, give a thumbs down, I appreciate the honesty. Starting with the only sniper rifle in Battlefield 2042 that you normally should avoid, the NTV-50. Right now, the NTV-50 is the only anti-material rifle in Battlefield 2042, and that means that it's designed to counter vehicles and material rather than infantry. It is described in the game as follows: South African high-caliber anti-material rifle, designed for neutralizing engine blocks and gun emplacements, able to destroy dreams at up to 1500 meters. Let's be real, the only dream that is destroyed with this sniper rifle at 1500 meters is the poor fellow trying to hit anything with it. The NTV-50 has really low bullet velocity and quite a lot of bullet drop. The bullet would have to travel for several seconds to reach 1500 meters. Add one of the lowest rate of fire in the game together with a very small magazine size, and you have a weapon that clearly shouldn't be used as much as it is. Now, I guess a lot of you are thinking that, hey, it does a massive amount of damage. Well, for shorter ranges, it can one-shot kill infantry, even with a non-critical hit. But the damage drops off pretty soon as well. At 150 meters you need to headshot or hit twice to kill infantry. The NTV-50 used to be very strong against vehicles, but it has since been nerfed quite a lot. As you might know, I have an affinity for hunting vehicles with sniper rifles. It is a bit of a sport, to be honest. It's not very easy though, but somehow a lot of fun, as it is a bit unexpected. The NTV-50 is not useless for that, but it requires a lot of effort. Compared to most other weapons in 2042, the NTV-50 doesn't offer a whole lot of customization. I've set the Raven 4x optic sight as default, but as I don't like the design of the mill dashes, I tend to switch to the BKS 8x optic sight. The trade-off is of course that the bullet velocity and drop on the NTV-50 makes it rather hard to be consistent at longer ranges, and 8x zoom is almost a bit too much when looking at less than 150 meters. There are no alternatives for the barrel nor the stand. Apart from the different size, the only thing that can be changed are the 2 different ammo types: anti-material or high-power anti-material. It's easy to think that the high power is the option to go for, but at least according to the text, the trade-off is less infantry damage. I'm not sure how well the game actually handles such things like infantry damage versus material damage. I expect at least some of you to disagree on this choice. To be honest, I've had a very hard time making up my mind about this myself. That is actually one of the reasons it took so long making this video. You don't agree with my choice? Let me know in the comments below, I would love to hear you out. Now, just to drag this out, as a runner-up I picked the DXR-1. Before you hit the thumbs down and quit the video, just hear me out. Let's first read how the weapon is described in the game. Lightweight and compact, the DXR-1 can still reach out and touch someone with deadly accuracy at up to 800 meters. Some of you might have noticed how the range described in the game is way higher on the NTV-50 compared to the DXR-1. Clearly the number given in the description shouldn't be taken too seriously, as we have already proven. The DXR-1 has the greatest bullet velocity of all sniper rifles, and it has the least bullet drop. That is the main reason for it to be as popular as it is. Firing with deadly accuracy at up to 800 meters is rather hard, but even a mediocre sniper like me should be able to kill targets fairly consistently at around 300 meters with the DXR. The downside with the DXR1 is the mag size and the low rate of fire. I mean, it's still about twice the rate of fire compared to the NTV50, but it's still rather low. And if you like to zoom out between shots like me, the game has a habit of sometimes reacting slowly, causing bugs when you zoom in, or generally increasing the rate of fire since it simply doesn't react. Despite improvements made by DICE, the game still needs a bit of a nursing when you want to do things rapidly. The DXR1 kills with one bullet to the head, and if you are a body shot bandit, you will need to hit twice. For a sniper rifle, that is fine, I think, pretty much what could be expected. Reviewing my setup of the DXR1, I discovered that I actually have the exact same setup of sights as I do for the NTV50. But for the DXR1, I have gotten used to the 8x scope to the extent where I pretty much always change it. I guess I keep my distance with this weapon and rarely die, otherwise changing sights every time I spawn would have driven me mad. Seriously though, this sniper rifle works very well at longer distances, but being longer from the action requires better positioning and rotating to be useful for your team. Just sitting at 300 meters and killing 15 enemies every round is simply pretty useless for your team. On the other hand, getting close with any sniper is of course a great risk for you, even if it might actually benefit your team. With the DXR1 I use high power rounds as a default, with fallback to standard issue and standard issue with extended mag. With the DXR I can actually be pretty isolated from my team and still be pretty effective. Just remember to bring some ammo with you, as the mag size is very limited on this one. Playing as Angel or someone else with ammo crates is generally speaking a good idea. Just remember that there's a fine line between being a bit isolated on a great flank and wandering around in Narnia with no means to rotate away from enemies. Well, sometimes there's actually the big fat wall of China between, but well, use your head. There is no alternative for the stand, which is a bit boring. There are however a decent amount of barrels. I think the only one that truly makes sense is the extended barrel. However, you need to unlock Mastery 4 to get it, so in the meantime use the Warhawk compensator. I mean, there's no harm to it at least, even though I don't really care about the recoil in a slow firing rifle like this. Finnish bolt action sniper rifle made with lightweight aluminum frame and adjustable folding stock. The description in game for the SVS-10 isn't very inspiring, is it? This is the best sniper rifle in my opinion though, although it is a close call from the DXR1. The SVS does marginally less damage. It has slightly lower bullet velocity, slightly more bullet drop, it's still one-shot kills when you headshot and two-shot kills on body just like the DXR. To compensate, it has a higher rate of fire and more than twice the size of the magazine. In short, it means that if you are a study, clicking heads 99% of the time, the DXR1 might actually be a better choice, as it would simply be easier to hit. But if you are more human, hitting body shots from time to time, the SVS-10 is in my mind actually better, as you have more time to hit that second shot before the enemy hides in cover. And you can still kill multiple enemies without reloading because of the mag size. There is also this preference of sights. This is of course much down to personal preference, and I found that with time this may change. But for starters, I was more comfortable with the sights available to the SVS-10 early on. The most important thing for me is the mil dot or mil hash that provides guidance for more consistency while not cluttering the sight. Starting with the sights, my default is the M11 6x optical sight. Depending on the distance, I use that or the Raven 4x optical sight. Since the SVS-10 has the highest rate of fire of all the sniper rifles, it allows me to be a little bit closer to the fight, but in those scenarios I don't want to have too much zoom. The M11 6x had a habit of breaking because of a bug, but that was fixed by picking it as a default sight. I also have a BKS 8x optical sight in the plus loadout. Looking at the barrels, I think the only viable option is to pick the extended barrel as soon as it is unlocked. In theory, a suppressor could be useful, but the damage drop-off, increased bullet drop and potentially decreased bullet velocity makes it not so viable in my mind. Whenever I try it, the rifle feels more like a bow with arrows, which is not a nice feeling, so just stay away from it. The magazines don't matter that much for the SVS-10. I use standard issue with extended mag, as I like the sound better than the high power rounds, and they don't make much difference as you normally need double hits on the body anyway. Subsonic is a cringe idea that I think lacks purpose, and armor piercing isn't exactly a good thing when hunting infantry. Last but not least, I use a rattlesnake light grip to improve the accuracy while moving. Know that in 2042 moving while sniping isn't a great idea, but I still find it more forgiving as the moment of standing still should be very short. Also, I found alternative grips more or less useless. Who needs a flashlight on a sniper anyway? The stand is not used unless too static, and vertical or horizontal recoil isn't really a problem with this rate of fire anyway. Improved accuracy while static could be a thing I suppose, but I've never seen the need for it. If I can make a shot count while not perfectly static, that is worth more for me. That was all 3 of the sniper rifles. As said before, the marksmanship rifle and some of the utility can be used as kind of sniper rifles, but I find them less useful or reliable at longer ranges. At least for starters before you unlock all sights and other extensions. What is your favorite sniper rifle in Battlefield 2042? Please share in the comments below, I would like to know. This video was created for patch 3.1. DICE has been balancing the game slightly in every patch so far. While I don't think that is needed when it comes to the sniper rifles in coming patches, one never knows. I'm just excited about what new sniper rifles that are coming in 2022 and how DICE is going to keep all variations competitive. That's it for today, see you live on Thursday. Cheers!